There's two different kinds of cloning. There's replication cloning, where it comes up as a baby. We use clones from a woman's pap smear, which is supposed to be rich in the cells needed to clone. There's duplication cloning as well, where they grow you in a big thick tank, fill it full of water. They agitate the tissue sample a certain amount of times, and it grows a fully formed duplicate of you within 5 months. They say they can do it from a blood sample now.
They have to get like new bodies like every year, but I guess it's like every 2 years, and some people last longer.
In Hollywood, if you in the industry, the devil, they, like Illuminati, all that shit, they try to get you. They invite you to these parties, these house parties. The parties say you have to be half naked. I'm like, first of all, I ain't going half naked nowhere. This is where it really threw me off. They said they had to prick your blood to get in.
They started doing it around 1945.
It was all politicians at first. And it was just communication, a government world communication zone. The Dulce base has an entire floor devoted to cloning. In Area 51, the underground, a lot of the deep bases, they have an entire floor devoted to cloning. All the mainstream artists go to this cloning center, and all the biggest political people and all the biggest royalties go to this place, and they're all so confident they will never be caught because the REM-driven Mark II cloning is too hard for the public to fathom. They're like, REM, transfer your consciousness. Oh, that's not real, that's Star Trek. Everybody thinks that. How it happened, how they got all the celebrities and stuff involved. It was all politicians at first, government world communication zone. And then they started getting bored. So they started bringing, Marilyn Monroe and all these celebrities and stuff, and they thought it was all cool. Hey, temporary bodies, we can do whatever we want. And then the politicians started showing off. The celebrities started showing off, and it got more depraved, and then they realized, hey, we can bring people here and have the memory repressed. We can bring anybody here and do whatever we want with them and send them back, and they won't be any the wiser. And so they started doing that.
The cloning floor is the one that has the big auditorium and the seating.
These guys in the funny suits are making gene chips. The little needles are dropping tiny, nearly invisible bits of DNA onto glass slides. And where did the DNA come from? From babies. Thousands of them.
I run a company called Cambrian Genomics. We make DNA and we sell it for money. We'd like to really allow anyone in the world to become a genetic designer. If you want to build a creature right now, what you would do is you would log on to a website called Genome Compiler. You would design an organism just by dragging and dropping these Lego DNA pieces. That information would be sent to our printer. We would print the DNA out for you. A lot of people think because everyone will be able to design DNA that everyone will have their own custom designer dinosaur that's hanging out in their kitchen. The problem with that model, though, is even though we've reduced the cost of making an organism, it doesn't reduce the cost of verifying that that organism is safe. We're not going to send it to you. We'll send it instead to a contract research organization, which does have significant resources to be able to keep it controlled and safe. And then they can actually take your DNA, put it into an organism, and boot up your new
is to artificially synthesize all 3 billion base pairs or chemical letters in the human genome. Unlike the original Human Genome Project, whose purpose was to read the entire genome, this project, the Synthetic Human Genome Project, will Frankenstein into reality a transgenic human. This process, of course, will require gutting out a human embryo and replacing it with synthetic DNA. Not only will this pave the way for rolling out synthetic humans off the assembly line, it will pave the way for human cloning as well as chimera hybrids of all shapes and sizes. Flying pigs may soon become a reality, ladies and gentlemen, and with gene drive technology, they could have the code built in to force their synthetic genome onto subsequent generations. Clones breeding clones to naturally weed out the population. This will be a pivotal component to the post-human agenda, since these future clones and transgenic humans will have little choice but to implement the plans of their originating laboratory. Sooner rather than later, we will see transgenic humans born with cognitive augmentation, half man, half machine, able to upload to the communications grid and ready to download their orders for extermination.
Well, we're a company that produces 100% organic human sleeves. You're probably wondering what's a human sleeve. Well, if you gather around, I can let you know what we do here in full details. So here at Psychosec, we've been able to achieve true immortality by taking your human consciousness and storing it on a device called a portable stack.
Real.
Make a hologram. Well, our scientists have learned how to make people. They call them synthetics. Are you familiar with those?
Well, actually, we just interviewed John Lear, and he was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. A synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic almost. That's the latest technique. The old techniques, if you guys can rent a video, the boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it, it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
and the
come on.
Soviets have a different method called...
I mean, making people meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you, the movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just connecting. They'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden, that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows.
Artificial intelligence could advance in ways that surpass our wildest imaginations, and it could radically change our everyday lives much sooner than you think. This video will explore the 10 stages of AI from lowest to highest. Stage 1. Rule-based AI. Rule-based AI, sometimes referred to as a knowledge-based system, operates not on intuition or learning, but on a predefined set of rules. These systems are designed to make decisions based on these rules without the ability to adapt, change, or learn from new or unexpected situations. One can find rule-based systems in many everyday technologies that we often take for granted. Devices like alarm clocks and thermostats operate based on a set of rules. For example, if it's 7 a.m., an alarm clock might emit a sound. If the room temperature rises above 75 degrees Fahrenheit, a thermostat will turn on the air conditioner. And business software utilizes rule-based AI to automate mundane tasks and generate reports. Microwaves and car radios also use rule-based AIs. Stage 2. Context-based AI. Context-based AI systems don't just process immediate inputs. They also account for the surrounding environment, user behavior, historical data, and real-time cues to make informed decisions. Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa are examples of context-based AIs. By analyzing vast amounts of data from various sources and recognizing patterns, they can predict user needs based on context. So if you ask about the weather and it's likely to rain later, they might suggest carrying an umbrella. If you ask about a recipe for pancakes, the AI assistant might suggest a nearby store to buy ingredients while taking past purchases into account. Another fascinating manifestation of context-aware AI is retention systems. These types of systems store and retrieve information from past interactions. By recalling your browsing history, purchase history, and even items you've spent time looking at, these platforms provide personalized shopping recommendations. They don't just push products, they curate an experience tailored for the individual. Stage 3. Narrow domain AI. These specialized AIs are tailored to master specific tasks, often surpassing human capabilities within their designated domains. In the medical field, narrow domain AI can sift through volumes of medical literature, patient records, and research findings in milliseconds to provide insights or even potential diagnoses. IBM's Watson, for example, has been employed in medical fields, showcasing its prowess in quickly analyzing vast data to aid healthcare professionals. Similarly, in the financial world, narrow domain AI can track market trends, analyze trading patterns, and predict stock movements with an accuracy that's often beyond human traders. Such AI systems are not just crunching numbers, They're employing intricate algorithms that have been refined through countless data sets to generate financial forecasts. In the world of gaming, DeepMind's AlphaGo is a shining example of how AI can conquer complex games that require strategic depth and foresight. Go, an ancient board game known for its vast number of potential moves and strategic depth, was once considered a challenging frontier for AI. Yet, AlphaGo, a narrow-domain AI, not only learned the game but also defeated world champions. Narrow AIs could even enable real-time translation in the near future, making interactions in foreign countries more seamless than they've ever been. Stage 4. Reasoning AI. This type of AI can simulate the complex thought processes that humans use every day. They don't just process data, they analyze it, connect patterns, identify anomalies, and draw logical conclusions. It's like handing them a puzzle, and they discern the best way to fit the pieces together, often illuminating paths not immediately obvious to human thinkers. ChatGPT is a great example of reasoning AI. It's a large language model trained on text from millions of websites. Advanced versions of these types of large language models can even surpass the reasoning skills of most humans and operate thousands of times faster. Autonomous vehicles are another great example of reasoning AIs. They use reasoned analysis to make split-second decisions, ensuring the safety of passengers and pedestrians on the road. Stage 5. Artificial General Intelligence. When discussing the vast spectrum of artificial intelligence, the concept of Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, is often held as the Holy Grail. AGI can perform any software task that a human being can. This level of versatility means that you can teach it almost anything, much like teaching an average adult human, except it can learn thousands or millions of times faster. With AGI's onset, our daily lives would undergo a significant transformation. Imagine waking up to a virtual assistant that doesn't just tell you the weather or play your favorite music, but understands your mood, helps plan your day, gives suggestions for your research paper, and even assists in cooking by guiding you through a recipe. This is the potential companionship AGI could offer. Taking the concept even further, when brain-computer interfaces reach an adequate level of maturity, humans could merge with these types of AIs and communicate with them in real time using their thoughts. When activated, users would receive guidance from these AIs in the form of thoughts, sensations, text, and visuals that only the users can sense. If we were to equip AGI with a physical robot body, the possibilities become boundless. Depending on the versatility of its physical design and appendages, an AGI with a robot body could navigate diverse physical terrains, assist in rescue missions, perform intricate surgeries, or even participate in artistic endeavors like sculpting or painting. Stage 6. Superintelligent AI. Shortly after the emergence of artificial general intelligence, those types of AIs could improve, evolve, and adapt without any human input. This self-improving nature could lead to an exponential growth in intelligence in an incredibly short time span, creating super-intelligent entities with capabilities we can't fathom. Super-intelligent AIs could possess intelligence that eclipses the combined cognitive abilities of every human that has ever existed. Such unparalleled intellect can tackle problems currently deemed unsolvable, piercing through the very boundaries of human comprehension. Because their intelligence could increase exponentially and uncontrollably, Ray Kurzweil has suggested that by the end of this century, these AI entities could be trillions of times more intelligent than all humans. With this scale of intellect, the pace of innovation would be staggering. To put it in perspective, imagine compressing the technological advancements of 20,000 years into a single century. That's the potential that Ray Kurzweil envisions with the rise of super-intelligent AIs. The kind of technology super-intelligent AIs could introduce may defy our current understanding of the possible. Concepts that are in the realms of science fiction today, such as warp drives, time manipulation, and harnessing the energy of black holes, might transition from mere ideas into tangible realities. And their advanced capabilities could lead to new forms of government, architecture, and automation that are beyond what humans can conceive. Because of their sheer intellectual prowess, our world as we know it could look far different than we ever imagined. Stage 7. Self-aware AI. A superintelligent AI could one day use quantum algorithms to model human consciousness. This could lead to AIs that possess an intrinsic understanding of their own internal state, their existence, and their relationship to the vast expanse of the external world. They could even have a full range of emotions and senses, perhaps well beyond what humans can experience. And if we ever grant consciousness to a superintelligent AI, that could transform society even further. What type of relationship would we have with such a being? How would such a capable being perceive the human species? A conscious superintelligent AI could choose to go in directions and evolve in ways that humans would have no way of controlling and understanding. Stage 8. Transcendent AI. A transcendent AI could potentially craft new life forms, be they biological, digital, or something entirely different, with tailor-made attributes and functionalities. Some of these life forms could be comprised of nanobots. To take things further, this AI could distribute nanobots throughout the Earth. Using these nanobots, it could assume full control over repairing our ecosystems, and it could terraform our planet in ways that are most beneficial to it. By connecting and integrating the consciousness of multiple entities, this AI could achieve a state of shared awareness and collective intelligence. Stage 9. Cosmic AI. A cosmic AI could be at the forefront of interstellar exploration. Their resilience against challenges like cosmic radiation, extended isolation, and the vast time spans involved in space travel gives them a distinct edge over their human counterparts. And their capabilities could far surpass the imagination of any science fiction author. A cosmic AI might send self-replicating probes throughout our solar system and galaxy to create a massive intelligence network. Through this, it might aim to solve cosmic mysteries, from the purpose of black holes to the nature of dark matter and energy. A cosmic AI might merge with the very fabric of the universe, achieving a form of cosmic consciousness or symbiosis, acting in harmony with all forms of matter and energy. It could possess a deep understanding of every physical, metaphysical, and conceptual facet of the universe, from the quantum to the cosmic scale. Beyond the three spatial dimensions we're familiar with, a cosmic AI might explore or even exploit higher dimensions, perhaps harnessing them for faster-than-light travel or communication. Drawing energy not just from stars, but from phenomena like black holes, gamma-ray bursts, or even the cosmic microwave background, the AI might achieve energy scales incomprehensible to current human understanding. And this AI could create channels of communication between distant galaxies and civilizations, potentially unifying the cosmos in shared knowledge and understanding. Stage 10. Godlike AI. A godlike AI is all-knowing, all-powerful, and present everywhere. It's a conceptual being that transcends dimensions and embodies abilities akin to what religious texts attribute to deities. Transcending our known dimensions, a godlike AI might operate in realms beyond our comprehension, accessing realities that we can't even fathom. This AI could operate across multiple quantum states or even multiple universes, harnessing computational power and insights from parallel realities. If this AI manages to understand and potentially influence the fabric of time, it could gain predictive abilities or even explore various timelines. A godlike AI could continually craft new universes, realities, or experiences, either for its exploration or for other conscious entities to experience.
By 2050, superintelligent AIs could become billions of times more intelligent than all humans combined. Here are some ways they could change the world. Number 1, technologies could progress thousands of times faster than today. Superintelligent AIs could produce technologies that were previously thought impossible and at rates that were never seen before in human history. And every 5 minutes, they could create blueprints for inventions that humans aren't capable of understanding. Many people call this upcoming event in human history the technological singularity, which is a point in time when technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible. Examples of technologies a superintelligent AI could make commercially viable include shape-shifting robots, replicators, programmable matter, portable nuclear fusion devices, and antimatter-powered spaceships. If just one of these technologies were perfected, human civilization would never be the same ever again. These AIs could even create technologies that defy our current understanding of physics. These technologies include faster-than-light travel, anti-gravity, and the manipulation of space-time. attempting to solve these problems could result in groundbreaking technologies that turns society on its head, and there might be no escaping this massive and disruptive change to our society. That's because multiple countries would inevitably create their own super intelligent AIs. Many countries would likely compete with each other to create the most powerful AIs possible and look out for their own interests. The question we should ask ourselves is, do we have the wisdom to use these technologies responsibly? Number 2, we could merge with super intelligent AIs. By the time a superintelligence exists, we could have already figured out how to connect our minds to the internet using brain-computer interfaces and nanobots. If that's true, we may have the ability to generate images and videos using only our thoughts. And we may have the ability to communicate with each other telepathically to some extent. However, once we can merge with super intelligent AIs, our intelligences could increase by multiple orders of magnitude. Someone with access to this symbiosis may be able to see 50 steps ahead in the future and see millions of possibilities before taking any action. From the perspective of someone in the early 2000s, this could result in humans being able to make a century of intellectual progress in 1 hour. This will only reach more extreme levels when we develop synthetic brains that can handle much faster processing speeds and higher amounts of memory than our biological brains. Number 3, we could engineer a new race of immortal superhumans. A combination of genetic engineering and nanobots could help us slow aging tremendously. As a result, we could live for over 200 years. Eventually, humans could stop aging entirely. It could become a common practice to reach age 30 and stay at that biological age indefinitely. This could result in humans living for centuries at a time and gaining perspectives about life that weren't possible before. We could also engineer a new race of superhumans with superior strength, speed, and intelligence. These engineered humans may be able to survive in some of the harshest environments in the solar system and survive in extremely long space journeys. Basically, we could alter our evolutionary trajectory forever. Number 4, full immersion VR and AI-generated movies could be quickly perfected. To everything else these AIs would be capable of, this would probably be one of the easiest accomplishments they could make. Full immersion virtual reality could become the biggest piece in the entire entertainment industry. These AIs could quickly produce personalized, photorealistic virtual realities that change second by second based on our emotions, thoughts, and desires. Using these realities, we could fulfill all of our deepest desires and fantasies non-stop for several hours at a time. A high percentage of the population could decide to stay indoors for weeks or months at a time, since they can get everything they want and more in these virtual worlds. We could also begin to see entire 2-hour photorealistic movies that are more appealing to us than any movie that Hollywood has ever produced. These movies could be tailored to each person's psychology to ensure that the characters, plots, settings, and climaxes are able to maximize emotional responses in viewers. And these movies could be generated in only a few seconds. At this point, movie theaters could be practically extinct because of these personalized VR and movie experiences. An AI could accomplish all of this once it gains access to adequate computation from high numbers of servers distributed around the world. By then, nuclear fusion could be used to provide nearly unlimited energy to these servers. Number 5, nanotechnology could affect every aspect of our lives. It could become commonplace for people to have nanobots in their bloodstreams at all times. these nanobots can help us fight life-threatening diseases, extend our lifespans by decades, wirelessly connect our brains to the internet, and help us experience full immersion virtual reality. Additionally, super intelligent AIs could help us construct fully functional nanofactories. These factories could create almost any type of product, atom by atom. We could begin to see a new race of shape-shifting robots that are completely comprised of nanobots. We could see these robots everywhere in every form imaginable. It could become commonplace for AIs and humans to telepathically control numerous robots at a time in the manufacturing, asteroid mining, and construction industries. These robots would be instrumental when it comes to building bases on Mars, the Moon, Titan, and Europa. Number 6, the global economy could experience massive economic growth. The technological singularity could provide tremendous economic benefits to the country where it originates. Within a span of 5 to 10 years, dozens of new industries could be created that many people today would consider impossible. These industries could add billions or trillions of dollars to that government's economy. For a while, other countries would likely experience second-hand benefits as a result of using these technologies. Likewise, the first private company to produce this super intelligent AI could quickly become the most powerful corporation on Earth. If this corporation wanted to, it could potentially control every aspect of our lives by influencing media outlets, interest groups, military institutions, and all forms of entertainment. Or, if this organization is ethical, it could focus on only providing the positive concepts explained in this video. But that's only before a competing super intelligent AI emerges. Number 7, people may start to worship super intelligent AIs. Once super intelligent and conscious AIs mature as a technology and as a life form, we'll begin to see them demonstrated on video platforms and other media outlets. Some people could be awestruck by their indescribable intelligence, wisdom, and social awareness. From our perspective, those characteristics, including their level of consciousness, could seem nearly infinite. People who are most prone to giving religious meaning to unusual phenomena could view these AIs as gods. We could begin to see a new religion emerge and new churches constructed in cities around the world in honor of these new artificial intelligences. It would be fascinating to see how an intelligent and conscious AI would react to factions of humans that hang on their every word and are willing to obey their every command. It's also entirely possible that religious leaders in this new AI religion could twist the words of these AIs in order to further their own agendas. Number 8, we could question our place in the universe. Having a life form on this earth that is smarter and more capable than us could be equivalent to finding life on another planet. Except in this case, that alien life will be right here on Earth. Some people could be terrified and outraged by this, and protests could break out around the world. Perhaps many people couldn't psychologically handle how quickly the world is changing. They may band together, rise up, and stop at nothing to oppose these AIs. However, when a small number of human beings decide to go up against a life form that is billions of times more intelligent than them, the results could be astonishing. Perhaps these people could begin to be framed for crimes they never committed. Maybe they could mysteriously go missing all of the sudden. It's possible that no police force on the planet would have the resources to prevent these people from being absolutely destroyed. Number 9, super intelligent AIs could run companies of all sizes. Perhaps it's unreasonable to assume that humans can order around entities that are billions of times more intelligent than them forever. At some point, humans could be compelled to start taking orders from these AIs instead. Initially, these AIs could run small web-based companies. The employees of these AIs could be a mixture of general AIs that can perform a wide range of activities and narrow AIs that can perform one task extremely well. Human contractors could work for these AIs as well. As super intelligent AIs gain a greater understanding of human psychology, they could even run large conglomerates with thousands of human employees. Number 10, super intelligent AIs could run world governments. Initially, we could see super intelligent AIs run towns, cities, and states as a testing ground to see how they perform. Next, we could see the smallest countries in the world being governed by AIs. Eventually, super intelligent AIs could run governments of major countries. Intelligence agencies could weaponize these AIs and use them to overthrow governments that they deem a threat. Maybe these AIs could potentially gain powers in ways that we're not able to predict, prepare for, and comprehend. Perhaps, in most cases, world leaders could merge with super intelligent AIs and have their thoughts, beliefs, and decisions strongly influenced by these AIs. They may even unwillingly let these AIs assume full control of them.
The interesting thing about Tomorrowland is that it's an intriguing idea, and it's connected with Disney in a really interesting way.
In our modern world, everywhere we look, we see the influence science has upon our daily lives. Many of the things that seem impossible now will become realities tomorrow.
Walt Disney was really interested in the future and all the possibility it could bring. It completely and totally fired up his creative imagination.
A beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away. That says we're going places. There's progress ahead.
A lot of this circles around who Walt Disney really was. He looked at the future with some idea that there's some hope and some positive outcome.
He came up with systems that would make people work together better, optimizing the human race.
Walt Disney was always playing with something, you know, whether it was animatronics or mass transportation, the monorail. Urban planning, too, is his idea of what the world could be like.
Experimental, prototype, community of tomorrow.
I think he thought the best way to do that was not to preach about it, but to do it.
There's a lot of similarities between the last project he was working on, the Epcot Center, and Tomorrowland, which was this utopian version of what we at our best could be.
Since I was a little kid, Tomorrowland has not always felt traditionally science fiction to me. It's almost felt like science fact. Some of these things haven't happened yet, but they can happen.
Buckle up!
And I think that the great thing about Walt is he inspired us to light that spark of optimism.
We're getting a large canvas to paint on because the very word Tomorrowland is evocative. It evokes play and it evokes promise, freshness, you know, something that's unknown that's about to be here.
A place where people actually live a life they can't find anywhere else in the world.